He told me, I'm married and I have a baby in America.
One of the saddest stories from 90 Day Fiance is with Biniyam and his oldest son.
Because I lost my family, I'm so hurt, I'm so depressed.
It's a story we've heard a little about on 90 Day Fiance.
He has fear. He's traumatized from his previous experience.
But the actual dark truth behind Biniyam and his oldest son is absolutely heartbreaking, and it's very shocking.
Not to not let him see, for example, our son. I'm sure he, it's like he can't use his logical brain in that circumstance.
Yeah. So guys, here is the deal. We all know that Biniyam is somehow still with Ari, and they do have an adorable son, Abi, together.
His behavior is just like me, I think.
But Ari isn't the first American woman that Biniyam's been with. He used to be married to another American woman before he met Ari, and her name is Bria, and they have a son together named Simon. But the sad thing is, Simon and Biniyam haven't really spent much time together, and I know you guys, this is all stuff that we have heard on 90 Day Fiance, but what they have never told us on 90 Day is that it all started with how things went down between Biniyam and his ex-wife, Bria.
You meet an American girl,
right?
And then you get pregnant, and then, and now you're with me, and then you meet another American girl.
Then you're afraid of losing her.
Are you afraid of this? You're afraid of the same thing happening again?
So Biniyam and Bria met in Ethiopia when she was there on a mission trip, and they got together pretty quickly. They even got married in 2 different countries, once in Ethiopia and once in the US. Anyway, they had only been together for a really short while before Bria got pregnant, and I mean, guys, does that sound familiar at all? So they were still in Ethiopia when this happened, but then she went back to the US to go to a wedding, and she had a checkup, at the doctor here, and she actually discovered that there were some pretty scary issues with her pregnancy. Apparently, the baby's intestines were growing outside of his body, and he'd require surgery almost immediately upon birth. I mean, can you imagine how tragic this could have been if she had given birth in Ethiopia? But shockingly enough, the hospital in Bria's hometown actually specialized in this exact surgery that the baby would need, so obviously she had to stay in America to have the baby. So Bria and Biniyam seemed like a pretty good couple for a while, but things sort of took a bad turn right after the baby was born, because Bria actually pulled a bunch of strings to get Biniyam a special visa so that he could be in America for his son's birth, but eventually Bini did have to go back to Ethiopia, and it was then that Bria discovered that Biniyam was supposedly exchanging some a little, too friendly of text with other women, and she got super jealous, and she accused Biniyam of cheating, and that they eventually got a divorce, and Bria just took their son and went back to the US. So was Biniyam the victim or the wrong one? I mean, it's not actually clear if Biniyam did cheat on Bria at any point. He says he didn't, but we don't really know for sure. But once again, sound familiar?
I think it's time that Biniyam experienced a little bit of the same.
I mean, either way, you guys, something happened between them and their relationship ended. And I think it's safe to say that it wasn't on the best of terms, especially knowing what we know now. And this is when things just get super sad, because Biniyam had many issues trying to get a visa just so he could visit his son, and he never could. And he kept, getting rejected over and over again. And this all meant more time away from his son, Simon. And I'm not sure if Biniyam did cheat on Bria and how at fault he was for their marriage breaking down, but what I do know is that he does love his son Simon with all of his heart and would do anything to be able to see him. But here is the truly sad part. It appears that Bria has completely erased Biniyam from her son's life. She never took him back to Ethiopia to see his dad, even though she knew that Biniyam wasn't able to come to America, and it honestly only gets sadder from here, because as we all know, Biniyam did manage to get his visa thanks to Ari, and he's been living in America ever since then, and he's been traveling all over the country, but he still hasn't been able to see his son since the day Bria and Simon left Ethiopia. Still, I mean, it just breaks my heart, and he's actually in the US now, so shouldn't he be able to? I mean, what would possibly be stopping him now? And so it only, appears on the surface that it seems like the answer to that question, it just has to be Biniyam's ex-wife, Bria. Because we know that when Bria went back to the US, she basically cut all ties with Biniyam. And it seems like now Bria just wants to rewrite history. She's remarried to her childhood sweetheart, and they're raising Simon together, and apparently Simon is now calling her husband dad. And there are even rumors circulating around the internet that Bria's new husband even adopted Simon. I mean, I just can't even imagine how low Biniyam must feel if that is the case. Does he even have any rights to his son at all? But it just makes me, really sad for Biniyam. And after all of those years, they're finally living in the same country, and he's still being kept away from his son. So I've got to say, for a while, I wondered what the deal was with Biniyam and his oldest son, and for a long time, I couldn't tell if, maybe Biniyam was actually fine with Bria cutting ties with him because of all the adoption rumors, but I mean, you just can't adopt someone's child without their approval, right? But Biniyam did prove me wrong, sort of, when he actually acknowledged the sad situation on his Instagram a few months ago. I mean, I was shocked by how much he revealed about his son, including a picture of him from Bria's Facebook. I mean, how sad is that, you guys? The only picture that he has of his kid is from looking at his ex-wife's social media, and obviously, I don't know how custody and divorces work between two different countries, but it just doesn't seem possible that he just has no visitation rights for his son. I mean, wouldn't he have to have his rights terminated or give them up or something? But who knows? Maybe things are different with custody in Ethiopia that, lets Bria keep their son away from him. I have no idea, but it's just such a horribly sad situation, and I'm wondering what, Biniyam's plan is. I truly don't think he's given up hope just yet, because people on Reddit are wondering if Biniyam's going to ask for custody now that he's in the US, but I'm not sure how that would even work with all the distance still. But if I had to guess, likely Ari's parents, who seem to basically fund her and Biniyam's entire life, are likely going to hire a custody lawyer to help out. I mean, I don't think there's any chance that he's going to let this thing go, but also I'm almost certain Binny and Ari can't afford a lawyer on their own, and Ari's parents seem to always come to their rescue, so that is my guess personally. But comment below what you guys think. Someone on Reddit also had this theory that Biniyam just doesn't know where Bria is, and that she took Simon to the US a while ago, and if she didn't give him an address, chances are that's why he's not able to contact her, which is possible, but it would be pretty easy to figure out. I mean, to me, Bria still hates Binny and is trying to keep him away from her and Simon, and obviously, I don't know this girl, but if that is the case, it is pretty immature. I mean, even if things ended badly with him and her ex-husband, he's still Simon's father, and I don't think that she should, be keeping him from Biniyam because of their own issues. But anyway, you guys, there was another thing I quickly wanted to cover, and that is about Ari and Biniyam. While we're talking about them, they will be on the next season of 90 Day Fiance, and we got to see a little trailer of the new season and the clips with Ari and Binny. It looks kind of interesting. So basically, Binny's sister throws a drink in Ari's face. So the million-dollar question is the drama between Biniyam's sister and Ari actually real? I mean, I've been wondering for this, for quite a while, because Ari was super calm after the drink was thrown in her face. But either way, it's sort of a mystery how Binny and Ari are doing as a couple. There's not many spoilers on them, and last we saw them, Ari was 100% certain that Biniyam had cheated on her. So it'll be fun to see how the relationship plays out. And for Biniyam and his ex, I'm just not exactly sure what Biniyam's next steps in this whole thing should be. I mean, it all truly depends on whether he even has a way to contact Bria, and if she would be willing to let, him see their son. But no matter what happened between the two of them, I just don't think that she can be in the right on this. Even if he did cheat on her, that's between them, and it has nothing to do with their son, at least in my own opinion. But what do you guys think? I mean, do you think Bria has a right for keeping Simon away for so long, or do you think that Binny just doesn't want to see his son? I mean, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please do me a huge favor and hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.